It's like half deflated anyway. Let's see if I can do this.
Ah, that's disgusting. Oh my god.
That tastes like it's poisonous a bit.
Hello, I'm LucyyVictoriaa and welcome to my channel. Happy birthday to me. That guy can't come at me. That little gags, kids.
I guess this is the time where we tell Ed this is a story of why we broke up. No, seriously, this is his whole story on why we broke up. Probably one of my favourite reads for a while. I've not enjoyed a book this much. It's so light-hearted and so just easy to read. And just such a good idea for a book instead of us sitting here waiting for the two characters to get together. I'm sat here waiting for them to break up. The story follows the character called Min, and she was with this guy called Ed, and she has a box of their stuff to do with like the relationship that she's giving back to Ed. And she writes in this letter with every single item in the box to explain to him what it meant to her and everything like that. So we get an insight in their relationship because we get a picture for every item that is in that box and an explanation to it. And I absolutely loved it. The drawings in the book are just so good as well, and I got excited whenever like I could see a new one coming up. You can kind of see down the sides all the different colours. And I like that better than chapters because it felt like I wasn't reading a book, I was legit like reading somebody's diary. Which you should never do, but it felt really interesting and I absolutely loved it. Bearing in mind, you just fired. Bearing in mind, I've never been in a real relationship. I've been somebody's girlfriend once, and that relationship lasted a week, and I dumped him on Facebook like 4 years ago, and now he's a dad. So, maybe this book will mean more to you if you've been in a relationship and been in love and then broken up, because I know it was like at the start it says Min and Ed's story of heartbreak may remind you of your own. There's one character that I hated in this book though. Maybe hate's a strong word, not quite hate. But Ed's got an older sister called Joan, and Min absolutely idolises her, comments on how much she loves her multiple times, says that she'll miss her. I did not like her at all. I felt like she hated Min, and that she just really pushed her away and was not nice to her. But Min couldn't see that. And maybe she was blinded by Joan's love, her love for Joan, as well as she was by her love for Ed. Because at the start of the book, well, all throughout the book, she mentions how beautiful Ed was. And at the end, she starts mentioning all the bad things and all the flaws that they had and everything like that. And I absolutely love that because I've heard so many stories of where when you're with somebody, they're just perfect to you, and then after you've broken up with them, a lot of their flaws you start to see them. And I feel the same with that. I really liked a guy once, and now when I look back at him, I just think, why? But obviously in that moment, they were just blinded by something. I don't know what. Stupidity? Maybe. Oh, I really hope it's not like that with a beautiful guy that I like now. Because he has a beautiful face. And if like he turns out to be somebody really horrible, I hope that I don't think he still doesn't have a beautiful face. He's so beautiful, it's unfair. I'm going to write you a book on why it's unfair to be so beautiful. And it'll be called Divergent. That's it. Can't pronounce this book at all, but I absolutely loved it. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did because obviously it's been turned to a movie, and I feel like it's going to be up there with like the Twilight and Hunger Games, which is what my teacher kind of said was, and he proceeded to ask me what her special power was. But I read it in about a week, and it got to like the last few hundred pages, and I was sat there at like 12:30 after having to get up at 6:30 the next day, just like I can finish it, just like a few more chapters, and it's so good. It's so different. It kind of they get based. The storyline is that it's in this really weird. It's in this really weird way of living. They all live in these factions, and when they turn 16, I think they have to choose which faction they want to live in. And the factions, they kind of do things like they're really smart, or they're curious, that's a smart one, that's erudite, or they're really honest, or they're really selfless, or they're really brave. And they have these different ways of living, and they have to abide by that. So if you choose candor, you have to be honest and you can't lie. If you choose aboriginate, I think it is, you're really selfless and you can't be selfless. Like, you can't be selfish. You can't even look at yourself in a mirror because that's selfishness. And it's just this really weird way of living, and they can't understand the way that they live without that. So it's really interesting. It really is, and it follows the story of Beatrice Pryor as she chooses her fraction and the things that she's going through in her fraction. There are two flaws to this book, however. Number one was the ending. I felt it was so rushed and just all these things kept happening that seemed just out of the blue, and I was just sat there going, what, why, when, and I didn't understand it at all. But I feel like that was because she knew that there was going to be another book, that she could just do anything and know that we'd probably still read it just to find out what was going on. But I did feel like it was very rushed and just seemed very pointless. Another one is the character Thor. I absolutely shipped Thor and Trish together all throughout this book because I think I fell in love with Thor. I have a little crush on him, I'm not gonna lie. Because he starts off as this very broody, don't give a shit guy. I'm in love with this really broody Thor. And halfway through the book, he turns nice and I don't like it. I wanted my broody Thor back. So I got really sad when he started being nice and sweet and kind. No. Where's the Thor that doesn't give a shit? I want him back. So they're my two flaws for this book. Thor and the ending. However, I would definitely recommend go reading it. It's part of a trio. I'm on Insurgent now. I'm halfway through it. And it's still keeping me reading, which is good. However, when I do a review on this, there was a part already that just got into it. And I just sat there going, why would you write that? That is just stupid. So I'm sorry, Veronica Roth, but you still keep me reading. I'm still going one more chapter, just one more chapter. And I'll probably buy, Allegiant. I don't know how to pronounce half the words in these books. I just make them up. Go read Why We Broke Up and Divergent. So I gotta find me a Thor and an Ed. Because they're both kind of dicks, so I guess I just get attracted to the dicks.